It's Stage Door Athletic with Jack Loxton and Rob Shaw Cameron. Please take your seats. Kickoff is about to commence.
Oh, yes! Unbelievable! They've pulled the rabbit out of the hat again. Hold the back page. Hold the front page. That is sensational. I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again.
Hello.
How was your weekend?
Day 2 of the hangover, keeping going. How was yours?
We've got to save your football exploits because we're briening again today.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to hearing about your day in the box.
I just got steadily more drunk again like we
Did
did
you?
in cricket. So I hope you like that
That will
episode.
be
if you
a
listen,
great
we'll do it again.
listen, everybody. I, in contrast, remained relatively sober, so that will
Good.
be interesting to listen to.
Okay, fine, good.
But I wanted to ask you, because we haven't discussed this, is Tony Mowbray now your new manager?
Yeah, have we not
And
spoken
how
about
do
this
you
yet?
feel about that? No.
How do I feel about it? Well, how old was I when he started at the Albion in 2006?
How old is he? He must be 147, isn't he?
I think he's late 60s now.
Is he?
Something like that. Something like that. But we had him for 2 years, two and a bit years, and we won the league with him. We won the championship with him.
Yeah.
So my heart was singing when it was announced that he came back in, but my head is slightly ever so like, this could be scraping some sort of barrel. But he's a lovely bloke, like the loveliest bloke. Everyone in football absolutely loves him. He's got a good philosophy, footballing philosophy. So, you know, we'll stick around the edges of the playoffs. If we get into the playoffs, who knows what's going to happen, but we need some players. And it is transfer deadline day today, as at time of recording this bit in the morning.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But
Is there any vibe around the club of people coming in?
Yeah.
Or going out, indeed?
Yeah, there are. Well, there's one that's currently having a medical to a Premier League team.
Wow.
There
I don't
is
want to get you sacked, so don't say.
Okay. No, I'm not going to say it. And then there's a young striker who
You could say it. You could say it because tomorrow it'll all have happened.
Well, the
won't
rumours are already out. So, yeah, Palmer has been linked with our goalkeeper.
Cole Palmer?
Alex Palmer. No. Alex Palmer, you pillock.
Did Cole Palmer play for you?
No, if Cole Palmer could
played
play
for
West Brom,
everyone.
he didn't play for us. I wish he did. No, Alex Palmer, our goalkeeper, apparently 5 million around, is going to Ipswich. He's currently driving to Ipswich as we speak for a medical. And the striker is a young Danish striker called Tamer Bainey? Tamer Bainey, I think, something like that. So, yeah, we used to be really good at signing random players from Europe, and they turn into absolute amazing players for us. So, I'm hoping he's one of those. But
Carry on the tradition.
apparently Derby are trying to sign Carlin Grant on loan, which is ridiculous. That ain't going to happen. He says that now, cut to tomorrow, and Carlin Grant's in a Derby shirt, so who knows. Anyway, what about Leeds?
I didn't mean Cole Palmer, I meant Carlton Palmer. That's why I did.
Carlton Palmer. Carlton Palmer played for us.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He must have done.
Carlton Palmer
Yeah.
played for us a little bit. I'm sure he did.
Big, tall, lanky centre-back, midfielder. He was a great player.
Yeah, he did play for everyone. So how are Leeds? Yes, do you want to talk us through?
Well, look, it's just
how
worth
Leeds are
mentioning
doing?
that we beat Cardiff 7-0 over the weekend, just to send a message out to our championship rivals that, you know, we won't be deterred. It was great. I need to read my text exchange with friend of the podcast, BBC's Match of the Day and Final Scores, Jason Mohammed, who is, of course, a Cardiff City fan. So I just sent an ouch and red-faced emoji, to which he replied, bonkers. He said, at least I wasn't on air at the time. I said, actually, that would have been quite good telly. And he said, when I took over, I started a tradition of any team who scored 6 would get an extra shout-out on the video printer. And today I had to fall on my sword. I said, well, the people of Yorkshire said, diolch. And he said, horrific. So that's good. So
doing well,
yeah,
Cardiff,
it was great because Cardiff used to be a bogey team for us, but no, they're not having a good time there.
No, they're not great. So yeah, the championship is looking
tight. It's tight.
Leeds are probably going to go up, aren't they?
But
it'll be Leeds and Burnley.
I hope so, but there's still 4 teams in it, and that was what was happening last year. It was 2 from 4.
I don't want
and
Sunderland to go up
we were
because they
third,
piss me
so-
off. I don't want
Yeah.
Burnley to go up because they're boring. I don't want Sheffield United to go up because they're boring. Leeds, fine, but everybody hates Leeds. And then I would like, obviously, Albion or Borough to go up. I'd like Borough to have a go at it next season.
Well, Borough play at Sunderland this evening. That will be, let's hope that's a nice draw or a Middlesbrough victory is what I'm hoping for ideally tonight, just
need a
to
Sunderland
help us out.
Oh, well,
Anyway,
we'll see what happens. Anyway, shall we dive back into the Brian of the Blessed?
Shall we?
Yes, let's get back into the Brian of the Blessed. We left Brian last week. He was singing the Z-Cars theme tune, wasn't he? So,
He was.
without further ado, let's rejoin him as he sings the Everton walk-on tune.
Da da dum 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 da dum 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 da da dee da dum da 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 dum da da dee da dum 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 da da dee da da da. That was the tune for Z-Cars. Johnny
Yes.
Toddy. Johnny Toddy took an ocean. And that is the tune for Everton as they come on the ground. And I was in
Yes.
Z-Cars, and I
Yeah.
was in Zevictor 1, which was where Everton's ground was.
Yes.
And so they
Well,
play the Z-Car tune. So I'm very involved with football, in watching it.
And yeah, and you talked about some of those celebrity matches that you were involved in back then.
Yeah, as I said, when I was in Z-Cars, I played for Sportsview. You know, I was centre forward, and Venables was my inside left. And
Terry Venables.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was selfish because I was captain of our school team when I was a boy, so I always held on to the ball at the Tottenham Hotspur football ground and so forth. And one of the Arsenal players complained, and Venables said, "Oh, leave Brian alone. He keeps dribbling all the time. He won't pass it. He's a selfish bugger." And Venables said, "No. What difference does Brian make to football, for God's sake? Let him do what the bloody hell he likes. Leave him alone." And I used to be marked by Henry Cooper.
wow.
He'd play for Tottenham. He'd be at left back. And he marked me. And at a certain time in the game, I would knock Henry Cooper out. It was made that way. He'd tackle me and flatten me. And I got up. He's just hit Brian Blessed, Fancy Smith. Cooper has hit him in the face. And Blessed got up and he knocked me, put Cooper down. The referee's intervening. Henry Cooper's face is covered in blood. And he had these blood bags, Henry Cooper. He put them in his mouth so he could chomp on them. Halfway through the game, I'd knock him out. It's what people paid to see.
Yeah, it's like the wrestling.
We weren't professional footballers. And they said, "Henry, Brian Blesser's knocked you out." He said, "I'm giving weight away." He said, "I'm giving weight away."
And you still watch football, Brian?
I love the way things are going at the moment. There are some brilliant European sides, you know.
True.
Yeah.
And there are some marvellous sides at the moment in this country, and marvellous managers. And I love the way things are going, you know. Some lovely players. And it's so good Liverpool are bringing in so many young players.
Yeah, and good for England too.
Yeah, well, it was Klopp was brilliant at looking at young kids, bringing those through so long. May that continue for Liverpool. But I just want to check, am I right in thinking, and I'm just going to hark back to talking about the cricket, am I right in thinking you played cricket with the RSC, the Royal Shakespeare Company, Brian? Because I know Patrick did, and I'm wondering if you did as well.
No, that would bore the arse off me. No.
Oh, all right.
It's enough to do the Shakespeare. It's enough to do the Shakespeare, yes. Any sport with the Royal Shakespeare Company would bore the arse off me. I'd end up having a heart attack with boredom, Bob. Those Wazzicks can't play sport.
Okay, fair enough. That makes sense.
I've just got to...
Oh, and he's off.
Where's he gone?
Now, you may remember Brian's a big animal lover, and he's
Sorry,
rescued many
guys.
animals. No worries,
It's this
Brian.
new boy. It's this
Yeah,
new
yes.
dog. He's all right.
Yes.
Oh, bless.
He's all right. It's loving the garden and everything else.
Yeah,
But
it's a new rescue dog that Brian has there.
I love doing all the kind of football and games and
Yeah.
enjoying myself and almost it. But a great love of sport.
Yeah.
Of course, I always wanted to be a professional sportsman.
Oh, yeah.
Before being an actor and treading the boards or anything, what would you have been?
When I was at drama school, the Bristol Vic, we were
Yeah.
taught judo, movement,
Oh, wow.
fencing, all kinds of things. and Judo.
Yeah.
And I took it up, and I did my RAF National Service. I learned Judo.
There it is.
I was in the parachute regiment, 47 parachute jumps. It all sounds so vain with me, doesn't it? I took up Judo,
Not at all.
and eventually I ended up with the Robinson brothers. When I was in Z-Cars, I used to go every other evening down to the dojo in London, Orange Street. Brian Jacks was there, the great Brian Jacks, doing Judo and winning all the sports things, Brian. And the Robinson brothers, Joe Robinson was 6'4", 8th Dan black belt. I have never seen a fighting man like Joe Robinson. Anyway, when I was in Z-Cars, I must tell you, I fulfilled an amazing dream. While I was in Z-Cars, Jock was in the car with me, Joe Brady, asked to be the guests of the New York police. Joe Brady and I, we went to New York, and all the sports people over there and all that said, well, Mr. Blessed, what would you like to do when you're in New York? I said, I'd like to meet Rocky Marciano. I'd like to meet Joe Lewis. You know, in The Godfather, it's mentioned Jack Dempsey's restaurant. We'll meet at Jack Dempsey's. Now, Jack Dempsey, of course, was the Manasseh Mauler. He was the undefeated world heavyweight champion. He was a film star and so forth. I said, I'd like to go to Jack Dempsey's. And I did. And I had lunch with Jack Dempsey. And at that luncheon, I spent the entire afternoon with Joe Lewis, Jack Dempsey, Gene Tunney, Rocky Marciano, Ron Lastaza, Ezra Charles, Jersey Joe Wilcott, Cassius Clay, the whole lot.
Wow.
And they loved the fact I knew my football and the weights and so forth.
Yeah.
And Marciano, they was fascinating because a really nice, gentle guy. Because he was undefeated. And he was 5'9", 13 stone 7 pounds. And no one could punch like Marciano. And he was there. He never got defeated. And Lewis was there. And Jack Dempsey was there. And we talked about their money and what they earned. Imagine these great heavyweights, and I had them to myself. They were fascinated by Woodcock. Joe Lewis. And I said, well, I was going to fight him, Brian, because I thought he was the best heavyweight I ever... He had a right hand, and I was susceptible to a right hand that Max Schmeling hit me with once. And they were all there. And I spent an afternoon. Now, at that time, I could bench press 400 pounds. Did you hear that? 400 pounds.
400 pounds?
I trained with the Robinson brothers. And I was 4th Dan black belt, Judo. So when you're in Judo, if you're with a guy, you're saying, well, how did that contest go? Well, I couldn't feel him. If you're with a great, powerful man who's brilliant and he's good, you'll feel him. I didn't feel anybody apart from Joe Robinson and so forth. And I trained with Brian Jacks. I was in the press about 3 years ago here. He's touring the country. He talked about... He got a gold medal in the Olympics, middleweight, Brian Jacks. And he got another gold medal, open champion, middleweight and welterweight. And when he came back here, I knew him very well. And he was knackered. And I threw him. He said to my daughter, your dad was like a bloody tank. And he threw me. I couldn't believe he threw me. Anyway, I don't feel people, or I didn't. I'm older man now. When I'd had this luncheon, Jack Dempsey said, well, Brian, it's been great meeting you. The great Jack Dempsey, the great Manasseh Mauler. Bye, Brian. And he shoved himself on my shoulder. And I thought the fucking world had come to an end. He put his hand on my shoulder and went, bye, Brian. What the hell was that? It was Jack Dempsey. There's a big difference between Dempsey and the ordinary man in the street.
Yeah. I mean, these absolute, proper all-time icons of American sport, world sport. I mean, Rocky Marciano, that's just...
Rocky Marciano was once the guest of our judo club. And we had some stuntmen down there who were 6.5 feet and could bench press 500 pounds. And one of them said, is he the terror? Is that Rocky Marciano? Is he the man that terrorised all the heavyweights and never got beat? I bet I could put him down. I said, don't even think about it. Don't throw a punch at Rocky Marciano, because you'll never bloody recover. You'll be in hospital before you know where you are, because he's a conditioned fighter. He's conditioned. Now, that means, he will react. Dempsey, when he was training for the world title, Jack Dempsey, Paul Gallico, the author, wanted to pay Dempsey a lot of money. He could box a bit, Paul Gallico, and to tell the public what it was like to spar with Jack Dempsey. And they paid Dempsey, about £100,000 to break training to fight Paul Gallico. Paul Gallico was your equivalent.
Oh, well, I don't think I would risk getting into a ring with Dempsey, or indeed you, Brian, to be fair.
I think that's wise.
Don't think?
And Paul Gallico said, I met him, he said, I remember I threw a punch, Dempsey, and it hit him on top of his head. And the next thing I remember is a bucket of water all over my head. And I've got a bent spine ever since. What? My spine is bent. I should never have got in the ring. I said, nobody in their right mind is going to get in the ring with Jack Dempsey, the Manasseh Moor. There's a lovely photograph in one of my books with me and Dempsey. It's lovely. I treasure it. So does my father, or my father did. But when I said to all the heavyweights at that luncheon, who was the best of all, they all said unreservedly, well, by the way, just before it, you talk about sport. You talk about sport. Where have the biggest audiences ever been? And you can have television, you can have all you want, you can have the studios, you can have the special effects. Who has had the biggest audience ever? Jack Dempsey. Jack Dempsey, 14.5 stone, the Manasseh Moor, defended his title against Georges Carpentier of France. Carpentier was European heavyweight champion in the 30s, and he beat everybody. He knocked them out. He was incredibly handsome. He was the Rudolph Valentino. All over America, they had carriages, horses, women in wonderful clothes, governments all over Europe, all over Britain. Yeah. And they got special pictures put up to watch Dempsey fight Georges Carpentier. And the whole of America, it's society. It's bourgeois society, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, everywhere. They all were waiting for the Dempsey Carpentier fight. Millions of people. And that's number one audience ever.
Yeah, they're the glory days of boxing, aren't they?
Yeah,
and,
they are, yeah.
You know how it's evolved now and all the different channels and competitors and pay TV and all the rest. Do you still follow it? Are you still a boxing fan?
I don't know if you saw the lightweight championship of the world the other day on television. Davis
I didn't.
versus Garcia. Garcia is one of the greatest lightweights I've ever seen. And Garcia is the current world champion. Amazing.
Right.
Brilliant by both of them.
I'm awful at boxing.
Neither could lose. After 4 rounds, they're mixing, moving apart, and they moved apart. Garcia, handsome, brilliant, beautiful, moved apart and went, no. And the referee stopped, and his opponent looked at him. No more. He went down on one knee, tried to get up, and then he went down on 2 knees and said, I can't move. This lightweight called Davis hit him with a short body punch to the side. It's broken about 4 ribs. He couldn't fucking move. Yeah. He was in such pain.
I can't do.
Well,
boxing.
Dempsey hit Carpentier, and he was down for about 8 minutes. They took him to hospital.
Yes.
The women were crying their eyes out. The great Jack Dempsey, the Manasseh Moor. Anyway, guys, I've been talking a great deal about sport and football. I love football. I love what's happening. There's some good things going on. I love the way the crowds are going to the grounds. I love the way the grounds are set up. I love good football. And it's lovely, the Arsenal manager and the Tottenham manager and others. Manchester United need to bloody wake up when you consider how brilliantly Manchester City are playing and so forth. And this, that, and the other. The Premiership and the whole thing. It's so exciting at the moment.
No, it really is. You're right. And Man United do need to pull their socks up somewhat a little bit. They aren't playing very well at the moment. But as we've had so much of your time, and we're so thankful for you for being with us. But before you leave us, I just wanted to ask about.
Yeah, go on, Mel. I'm sorry, lads. I've been Waffling on a bit.
No, not at all. Waffling is beautiful. You've been amazing. The stories, Brian, have been brilliant. We're so thankful. But I wanted to ask you, because you've had such an incredible life with such incredible experiences, and we're so privileged to hear about all your sporting stuff, is there anything that you haven't managed to achieve in the sporting arenas that you would like to now? You know, anything going forward? What kind of sports do you want to get into that you haven't already? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd love to be the chairman of the Renshuden Judo Club or the Budakwai. The Budakwai in Fulham are brilliant. Wow. They've had great champions there, and they get Japanese champions there. I'd love to be chairman. I'd love to participate in their planned activities.
Wow.
By the way, I think it's marvellous that Wrexham are doing so well. And I'm glad to see Stockport County up there. The Stockport County used to be a top side when I was a boy. You know, they were really a top side. We had League Division 3 North and League Division 3 South, and I lived near Rotherham United, and Doncaster Rovers was down the road, you know. So sportsmen. I do my one-man show in Mexborough later in the year, and they'll all be there. Mexborough, I had a British heavyweight champion called Iron Haig. He wasn't brilliant, but he was good. But full of sportsmen, and next door neighbour was Billy Thompson, British Empire and European lightweight champion. And there were great lightweights in the world in those days. You know, you've got to watch Woodcock fight Lesnovich, and you see Woodcock at his best. It's a tremendous fight. Get Lesnovich. Both of them were lethal. Henry Cooper said, he'd have beat me, Brian. By the way, this is to all the actors of the world, in Britain in particular. Oliver Reed is one. He's one of the few actors in my life, because I'm an easygoing guy, but I was threatened, the bastard. He said, he was in the film and so forth, and I hear one or two of the actors are a bit worried about you playing this part in this film. It was about the generals that imprisoned Dreyfus. Peter Vaughan was in it, and people like that, and Jeremy Kemp. And Jeremy said, I'm nervous because Oliver Reed's in this, and he had a terrible reputation for beating people up. And Jeremy was very dear to me. He was in Z-Cars and the Blue Max. And I said to Oliver, and he came in, and I said, I believe, you've got this reputation of this, that, and the other. Well, I'll tell you this. If you don't behave yourself, to Oliver Reed, I'll jump on that table and I'll kick your fucking teeth down your throat. So you behave, and you'll be all right. So I'm reporting accurately. If you scare Jeremy and upset the film, I'll jump on that table and I'll kick your fucking teeth down your throat. And you come to me every day, and you report to me every day, Oliver, so I can smell your breath for drugs and alcohol. And he was lovely and sweet and polite. I won't behave that way at all. Good. Of course, Oliver Reed, when I was doing that, he was a guest in a film with Henry Cooper, and they had to do a bare-knuckle fight. Get all stage, Victorian circus, And Oliver said to me, Brian, I'm doing this sparring with Henry Cooper, who was European champion at the time. I'm going to hit him. I've got a strong punch. Don't do it, Oliver. And he fucking didn't. They're all sparring, and it's all choreographed. He's left himself open. And Oliver hits him across the face. He's not, because he cut easily, Henry, I'll cut easy, Brian. I had to hit him. I mean, it's a reaction, isn't it? Because I'm a conditioned fighter. But he threw and hit me on the chin. And I don't think Oliver Reed ever saw that left hook when it came over. He never saw it. Out for about 20 minutes. Fucking revive him. I said, I told you, fucking idiot, you don't hit Henry Cooper. He's a strong boy, Brian. He could have cut me. I didn't want to hit him. Anyway, I did say that. You report to me every day, and he did.
I just trying to imagine that on the set these days with intimacy directors and trying to manage those.
Quite the thing you say on sports.
But look, just finally, before you go, I just wanted to ask you about your exploring and the expeditions that you've done, because I know you've done some really extraordinary things.
Well, I consider space a sport. Like I've been up Everest, and mountaineering is a sport, a real sport. Yeah. I'd like to go to the International Space Station and beyond. I consider it a sport.
Very true, though.
I have been trained, of course. I'm a fully trained cosmonaut. I was trained by the Russians.
What?
Yeah, just a few years ago, I was working with Pillinger and other people in this country, the Woomera Rocket Range, Black Arrow, Black Knight and Blue Streak. We led the world. my biggest love in life is space.
Yeah.
And I wanted to encourage the Martian program. So I worked with Colin Pillinger, who did Beagle, Beagle 1 and Beagle 2.
Yes.
And lots of other astronomers. And I filmed on Reunion Island in the Pacific to promote going to Mars.
Yeah.
I made the film. You can get the film of it, in which I worked with NASA. And then when I'd done all the training with NASA on Reunion Island in the Pacific, because it looks like Mars, we then went to Russia.
Good grief.
With Catherine Destavelle and myself, the great climber. And I did full training at Star City, Moscow, to become a fully trained cosmonaut. So I'm a fully trained cosmonaut and a fully trained astronaut.
Good grief. That's just extraordinary.
And get me to the International Space Station.
Yes.
And get me to be the chairman of the Renshuden or the Buddha Choir.
Oh, gosh. Well, I mean, what a fitting place to end. Yes. Brian Blessed jetting off to the International Space Station. Honestly, Brian, we can't thank you enough for the time, and the stories that you've shared are just so unique and so extraordinary, and it's been a total pleasure to spend some time with you. Thank you so much.
Well, it's very sweet of you.
And we haven't had enough. You've been amazing. Thank you so, so much for your time.
And I'll see you again, eh?
Yeah, it'd be great to see you again.
Yeah,
by the way, Patrick's a lovely actor.
No, he is, and he's doing great things, and has got
he's a lovely man.
Loads of great projects, including Dr. Strangelove in the West End coming up, so go see that if you can.
But anyway, get in touch with me anytime.
We will do. Thanks so much.
Anytime you like, You go for it. I think that everyone's gifted. They've all got something that nobody else has got.
I mean,
you've got something that no one else has got.
Well.
And the thing is to go and fulfil your dreams.
Yes, Brian.
And don't let the bastards grind you down.
Fantastic.
Never. Don't make a fucking pact with old age.
No, yeah, well, that's
it's
very,
crap.
very relevant to me at the minute.
Keep young.
Thank you. We will. You
Thank
too,
you, Brian. So
Take care
much
now. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
So,
well, there we go. I mean, I said at the end of last week, but I mean, he's just a remarkable man. His life, he's had so much experience. He's this larger than life character with such an amazing outlook. I'm so privileged to have him.
I think what I found interesting going into it, and I think we talked about the fact we recorded this a little while ago, so it's been actually really nice to revisit it and listen to some of those stories again. And obviously, naively, I was going into it thinking, I'm going to try and get under the skin. Who's the real Brian Blessed? This was going to be some expose. But what he is, of course, is, and I'd love to have explored this, and I guess no one ever will, but, he's aware of who he is and the persona of who he is and what he represents. And so he kind of performing the public persona of Brian Blessed a lot. But actually, when you stop and think about it, those stories are real. Sometimes they feel so fantastical. But he did have these extraordinary experiences because he was a really major TV and movie star. Obviously, he still works to this day doing stuff. But he was really in the public consciousness all the time. So these experiences, going off to New York and meeting Rocky Marciano, etc., those things came across him, and he grabbed them. Well, he sort of made happen in an extraordinary, audacious child, I guess.
But he is just, you can learn a lot. We can all learn a lot from Brian Blessed. I think that his go-getting attitude, his confidence, his joie de vivre. But it's really interesting when you see sort of these national treasures who have been actors and they're part of the tapestry of the acting world in this country. They're all some sort of, they've got this beautiful humanitarian side to them, and he seems incredibly kind and incredibly empathic and interested by others. And I think that's what we should all take a little bit and be, kind of more open to others and more available for these experiences, because what a life he has had, and he's a perfect example of it.
And just on that, again, I said, look, it's difficult because he part of why it was a difficult edit, being really honest and generous about it, was that I don't know whether he's deaf or not. Maybe he could struggle to hear us with the technology online. But he'd really prepared.
Yeah, he had.
He wanted to spend time with us. He'd really thought about, these guys want to know about sport and my sport in lifetime. And he prepared. He had notes and he was sharing some of those stories because he really wanted to give us these insights. And I just think that was a really lovely thing to have done, actually.
Yeah, totally. And again, it just says kind of the man he is, really. He's just such a great, great bloke.
And I'm sorry we didn't get to orangutans, James.
Oh, yeah,
that's fine. One thing that I noticed that I would say about Brian's, particularly his preparedness, is he really literally took the stage door athletic name into his research, because he found sportsmen that were also theatrical in a way.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that.
Yeah, it was very, very generous of him. And also, thanks to his PA, I think it's Louise, who got him on a Zoom call to deal with that, with a very slow internet connection and loads of rescue dogs stealing his attention.
Running around.
It really was an amazing and unique interview. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's been a really fascinating listen for us again. Thanks to Brian. Blessed.
Of course, yeah. Who are we going to get next?
Well, yeah. Who? Well, Patrick Stewart. You want Patrick Stewart,
I want
don't
Patrick
you?
Stewart. I love Patrick Stewart.
Make it so, Jack.
Make it so. Exactly. Engage. We'll get some.
Yeah, well, next week we'll be reacting to Super Bowl.
The coup de Soul,
from
Super Bowl.
New Orleans. Are you going to stay up and watch it?
I'm going to try and stay up as much of it. I mean, I really don't want the Chiefs to win it. I really don't.
You don't want
to
the three-peat.
I don't want the
You want the Eagles to come good.
I don't
You're
like the Eagles
fan,
either.
aren't you, James?
Yeah, go Birds.
Go Birds.
Yeah.
Go Birds.
Well, you've been really naysaying it and putting me off it, saying it's going to be shit and it's not worth watching and all the rest of it. But let's see. Who's doing the halftime show? Do you know?
Masioki. They're out there.
Imagine if they just rocked up and appeared. That'd be so good.
So actually, next week,
what's happened?
Surprise! Mark's going to text us in a couple of days, and we're flying over to New Orleans on Friday.
Yeah, to be in the box, and then.
Actually, I don't know who it is. Who is it?
It's Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar, fresh from his Grammy wins, will be there. All right, so we'll do a Super Bowl debrief and bring my newfound love of NFL to a close. Jack's success of leading me to more interest in NFL will come to a climax next week at the Super Bowl. We'll debrief that, and then we'll head down lower league footballs the week after.
We've got it all to come, ladies and gents.
It's just packed here. James is heading off to Thailand. James, we're going to be without you for a couple of weeks, aren't we?
Yeah, but I do have a staged or athletic idea for that, actually, which I will talk in the post-show meeting.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
Nice.
We're not doing anything on the Ladyboys Bangkok, just to say that right now.
Purely
Ping pong balls and performance maybe in line with our shtick, but I think that might be taking it to a new level.
Yeah, that'd be too far. Let's not do that. Brilliant. Well, yes, on to next week, and once again, thank you very much, Brian. Blessed, and thanks for listening.
Where's the bin since I saw thee last? Up in Ilkley Moor without your hat. Thee and Mary Jane doing this and that. That must be insane up there without your hat. Cause I'll catch thee death, and that's a fact. Cause it's cold on Ilkley Moor if there's got no hat. Then what will come with thee body and soul? We'll have to bury thee in a deep dark hole. Then worms will eat thee from head to toe. That's the way of the world, that's the way it goes. But that's not the end for thee, my friend. Cause ducks ate the worms and it'll happen again. What's I doing? Then one fine day we'll have duck for tea. But it won't be duck we're eating, we'll be eating thee. And that's the way we'll get our own back. Cause I went on a trip over without your laugh. Where we get us all and on Ilkla Moor. That's where we get us all and